But before I tell you a story, I was just reminded on the way in here of something that happened in Ireland to me only a couple of years ago. I wrote a song in Irish and I had to go up to Drumshanbo in Leitrim. Do you know Leitrim? Lovely Leitrim where the grass refused to grow. But I was there. It was at December in Ireland and I flew home to drive up from Cork to Leitrim. And if you don't know the geography of Ireland, it's very simple. 'Tis for all the world like a little green teddy bear rolled over onto its right side. I've been working out a bit, I've lost County Clare. It's got its two hands stretched out for help from America and been chased by a massive dragon. But if you go to Google Maps, you see it. And the crease under the left knee, that's Cork Harbour. I'm just down the calf from that. And I was going up to Drumshanbo around here. And Ireland at home is only, like the roads, the amount of money we spent that Germany gave us on tar macadam and cocaine is unbelievable. And so the roads now are straight and flat, they're fantastic. And you go up through, from Carrigaline to the North Cork, you don't have to touch anything. Lord God, it's fantastic. You turn left at New Two Pot House, you go through the grand paddocks of Tipperary, where the Queen of our neighbouring island came to sea. And the roads were all great. It was a beautiful, crisp December morning until I got just south of Athlone. And whatever the politicians in Westmeath did or did not do, but the potholes, John, they were as wide as a weaver's beam. Lord God, I went into one and I was a half an hour before I got out of it. And the small car I was driving, I popped the back left-hand tyre. You know, the burst. I had a flat tyre and I pulled in. It was a disaster. I was trying to get the wheel off, but like I've been working out since Bill, but I couldn't get the wheel off that day. And the wind. No, I don't know, have you been to Ireland? Have many of you been over there? That's right. You'll know that I know there's fierce aggression going on in the East Coast at the moment with all the severe weather. It's very aggressive here. But in Ireland it has a sense of humour, you know? It hears the door slam and you're outside with a coat and it turns around and attacks you. Like the wind seems to go down onto the ground, pick up a bit of grit and come straight for your eyes. Like, do you know, you'd see beautiful girls from Ireland and they've grand rosy cheeks and you think, God, they're very healthy. Tis just they go for walks. And the wind exfoliates their cheeks like that. But anyway, this day I couldn't get the wheel off and unlike most men I said I'd have to go for help. And there was this beautiful house up on the side of the hill. I walked up the fine tar macadam laneway up to a beautiful PVC door. It was 2007 and that was the best harvest we had in Ireland for 30 years. More machinery was bought in Ireland that autumn than for the 30 years previous. And the PVC door that was in front of me was only immaculate. Lord God. And I rang the doorbell and out came this giant of a man. God, he had red hair flying backwards and blue smoke bellowing out of his mouth. And he had a blue Oshkosh bigosh dungarees. I said, hello, what can I do you for? He was from Roscommon, he was after marrying up. And I told him I predicted, no problem, he said, we'll get you some WD-40. So we went into the kitchen, and there under the kitchen sink was about 3 or 7 cans of WD-40. We picked one out and we walked down. And the only reason I'm telling you this now is because, look, we're out in the middle of nowhere and people have to understand that the land is vital to life. Like, you know what I mean? And you have a greater connection to it here in Texas because you have so much of it. And I was walking down the lane, and the only reason I mentioned this to you now is because when I walked down, the strangest thing happened. All of the numbness in my fingers and toes from the winter's morning had completely disappeared in one moment. For whatever happened going into the house to when I came out of it, the wind was after changing. And what was alongside of me? Only a massive team of pigs, steam coming off their shoulders and snot coming out their noses, and they tried to break through the hard ground. But the smell that was coming off them, it was like southern Nebraska in April. Lord God, the blood was pumping around me and my eyes were watering for a different reason. But the only reason I'm saying that to you is because when I looked over, you'd never believe it, I saw a pig with a prosthetic leg. And I know they've made fierce advances in Cork. We have Striker, which makes all of your kneecaps for you out there, and the Depuy make the hips, but the bad hips were made in Czechoslovakia. But I was looking over and I couldn't believe they made prostheses for animals. And I said, excuse me, sir, I said, could you tell me what happened to that pig that had got a wooden leg? He says, I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about that pig now. My daughter, last summertime, was out on the back field by the river. There she was, throwing a line in, trying to catch a salmon. And there, 7 years of age, all on her own, the salmon caught the line and pulled her into the water. And there she was, 5 points on her way to heaven, and no one watching after her, only that pig, who broke through her fences, not thinking of herself, dived into the water, pulled her up by the scruff of her neck, gave her CPR there and then. Saved her life. I said, that's quite astounding. And he went on to tell me of the intelligence of the pig and all the great things that they've been doing throughout the years. And next thing, there was a puff of wind went up my nose, and I could feel my nostril hairs burning at this stage with the smell that was coming up to them. And I said, before we move on, and we can't stay much longer, I said, could you tell me what happened to that pig that it got a wooden leg? I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about that pig. There was my wife bringing the pig to the vet for some inoculations, and she driving in the pickup truck when she got a tame cree. She got a heart attack, fell down on top of the wheel, and no one there, only that pig in the back, broke through the back window, pushed down the seat, gnawed her in to the curb, and there she flagged down 5 cars until she got a cell phone, called an ambulance, saved her life. I said, that's amazing, I said. And he went on to tell me that he reckoned that the pig was the most intelligent of all the creatures walking this earth, be it on 4 or 2 legs. Next thing, I got a blast of wind towards my face, and I took a gulp of the smell that was there, and I could feel my morning's breakfast trying to regurgitate itself out upon us. And I said, please, I'll have to move on, but you'll have to tell me, what happened to that pig that I got a wooden leg? I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you about that pig now. There I was, up on the corrugated roof, fixing the corrugate on top of it one fine autumn morning. Oh, it was beautiful. I could see all the way out to the United States. It was a fine, fresh day. Well, there I was all on my own, and a northeasterly came down and it blew in my ladder. Oh, it blew it all down, and the rain and the slipping and sliding, and I started to fall, and I holding on to the gable end saying, coward, coward, help, help. And no one there to watch me, only that pig. And she in full bloom with the next generation inside her, not thinking of herself or those to come, broke through her new fences, pounded towards me, and just as my grip failed me, she turned on her back and slipped into the gable end. I fell down on top of her stomach. She saved my life. And the 16 bonavs inside her marched out in single file. I said, that's quite amazing, I said. But could you please tell me, I said, what happened to that pig that had got a wooden leg? And he looked at me straight, he said, good God, man, a pig as good as that, you couldn't eat her all at once. Sit there. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call up a great friend of mine, the Dr. Don Penzine, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a big round of applause. All the way from the banks of the Mississippi. I'm going to sing a song for you now that I wrote myself. Here we are in a place of study, and this song is about tertiary education. And I know there's a lot of students here who are on their way or just started college or university or thinking about it, and it's a treacherous event in the modern world of mollycoddled children. You're there in elementary school and cotton buds surround you as you get up in the morning and as you go to bed at night. And then you go to middle school and high school and the bullies start to attack you, but your parents are there to stop everything and you're safe. Everything is safe until university. Tertiary education, what you call school. You walk in to the university gates and the cotton buds disappear, and there you are, naked, defenseless, and surrounded by pheromones. You spend your whole first year hiding under tables, trying to look at everything, wishing you were a fly on the wall, and there you are, terrified at all the parties, feeling very small, until you see the one. Or the first one, anyway. And you do everything you can for her. You know, you play tunes, you take her dancing, you know, you make her feel really special. And then comes the summertime, of course, you've, you know, punched above your weight, like, you know what I mean? Gone too above yourself. And she tells you, listen, summertime, like, we'll see you later. I was like, what? But this is forever. And she's like, yeah, it might be forever again in September. And you can't understand it, and, you know, she finally sends you a letter in July saying, listen, good luck, like, you know what I mean? And it's devastating. And as my sister said, you have to get your heart broken once, like, you know? And then you meet her the following year, and there's butterflies every time you run into her. You come around the hall towards the maths class, and there she is. Hello. But it's terrifying. So this is a song for all you young buds and budettes going towards tertiary education. It's a song called Holding an Eye. Don't worry, there's another one just around the next corner waiting for you. When I see the stars way up in the sky, I remember the times I held your eye. The first time I held it was in sweet October. You admired my smile, you slept on my shoulder, and we laughed for a while. And I danced for you, and I sang for you, and we laughed and we cried. But with all of my tricks, I still couldn't hide my love for you, my love for you. When I see the moon way up in the sky, I remember the times I held your eye. The next time I held it was that Christmas day. You brought me home, you asked me to stay. That was nice for a while. And I danced for you, and I sang for you, and we laughed and we cried. But with all of my tricks, I still couldn't hide my love for you, my love for you. When I see the sun way up in the sky, I remember the times I held your eye. The last time I held it was a rainy July. You sent me a letter, you said to me why. That was your goodbye. And I danced for you, and I sang for you, and we laughed and we cried. But with all of my tricks, I still couldn't hide my love for you, my love for you. I still cannot hide my love for you. Good night, Ryan. Thanks very much.